Okay, at running back, I would have told you 2 years ago, man, the guy that I want to see more and more and more is Lawrence Toafili, because he was breaking off the big runs, making a splash. Treyshaun Ward, my goodness, he popped at 6.4 yards per carry this last season. So set us up at RB.
Yeah, no, this whole room right now loses Jashawn Corbin, who was arguably, your top rusher, if you're not counting Jordan Travis. But then out of nowhere, Treshaun Ward comes out and becomes the Spring of King. He just launched his own merch line too, called Spring of King, King of Spring, because of last year and how impressive he was. I think I came on here multiple times, Mark, and talked about, this is the guy that won the spring overall. Former walk-on, comes in, very competitive drive, and him from a few things that people have told me, just really tunnel vision. Doesn't care about what other people are saying, just knows that he believes in himself, and he's going to compete and take every inch. If you're going to try to tackle him, he's just going to go and try to get extra yardage, which is pretty impressive for a little bit of a smaller back per se. And, this room has DJ Williams too coming back. You got Lawrence Toafili, like you had mentioned, Mark, who was having, after, dealing with a few injuries last year, was starting to make some highlight tapes, definitely in that Clemson game. And his balance on his feet is really impressive. He's probably your best go-to if you're looking at a catch guy who can grab it from Jordan Travis, your best pass catcher in the backfield. He has that thread. You can line him out too. And then you bring in Trey Benson from Oregon, who's kind of a big question mark here. How healthy is he? Got to see a few of the vlogs from Micah Pittman, who also was from Oregon, and got to see Benson is definitely in shape. That's for sure. And there was some rumors that he's running like 4.3, 4.4 40s. I'm going to wait until we see that in person next Tuesday, if that's correct or not. But this room has little tiny question marks, but the talent is there with experience, and I'm really excited for Treyshawn Ward, who I think will take that RB1 spot headed into the spring game, just because of how well he looked last year. I thought that he was arguably the top running back last season. A lot of respect for Jashawn Corbin, because I thought he did well too. But Treyshawn Ward, I think, is a very gifted, might be the most talented running back in that room right now. You've got a few guys behind him. CJ Campbell, who's a walk-on, who we've heard a lot of good things about. Seems like Mike Norvell is able to bring in some talent, some lower graded talent, and bring them in as walk-ons, and seem to offer them scholarships because of the strides they're taking. And then you got Rodney Hill also, who I just heard earlier this week has been impressing too. So that's good to hear from a true freshman who kind of has a Toafili effect, in my opinion, more of an athlete coming out of high school, that you can use him in every direction. As a pass catcher, you can line him out. You can put him in sweeps. There's all different kinds of things you can do him. And Jakai Douglas is more of a wide receiver / running back. I think he'll be more utilized at wide receiver just because of how explosive he was last year. But still, you could still throw Douglas back in the backfield. I think he's still arguably one of the fastest players on this team. And you've got Cory Wren too, who speedy, dealt with injuries. Really going to see if he can make some jumps and this depth chart this spring. So it's a big room. It's a big room and a lot of gadget players more than anything. But this is definitely the King of Springs room heading into this first week of spring practice.